Once, there was a young rabbit named Rio. One evening, he was alone at home. He sat in his cozy armchair reading his favorite book. A sudden knock broke the silence. His long ears twitched. It was unusual for anyone to visit so late. "Who could that be?" he whispered. He felt both curious and uneasy. Another knock, this time louder. It sent a shock of fear through his little body. He gulped, his throat tightening. With a deep breath, he tiptoed toward the door, careful not to make a sound. Peeking through a small crack, he squinted, hoping to catch a glimpse of the visitor. But all he saw was darkness, where shadows seemed to move and grow. Knock, knock, knock. The sound kept going, steady and rhythmic. A shiver ran down Rio's spine. His fur stood on end as he realized whoever was outside wasn't planning to leave. Terrified, Rio ran back into the room. His tiny heart pounding, he slid under the table and curled into a tight ball. His paws trembled as he held them close. "Please go away. Please," he whispered. The knocking continued like an ominous drumbeat. Rio dashed to his bedroom and slid under the bed. He squeezed his ears tightly against his head. He shut his eyes, trying to calm his racing thoughts. Knock, knock. Each thump seemed louder, closer, as if whoever was outside could feel his fear. And then, silence. Taking a deep breath, he crawled out from under the bed. He quietly climbed onto a chair so he could reach up to a small peephole. He looked out, and nobody was there. But as he turned away, knock, knock, loud and insistent, came again. Rio fell with a painful thud and quickly crawled under the couch. Desperate to escape, Rio glanced toward the chimney. It was a tight squeeze, but he knew he could make it. He climbed out of the chimney onto the roof. Black soot and dust covered his fur. He now looked more like a ghost than a rabbit. He moved down and turned the corner to the front of his house. His eyes widened when he finally saw who had been knocking at his door. There was his friend Mittens, a tiny mouse with a little basket filled with fresh sweet cookies. Excitedly, Rio rushed towards Mittens to say hello, but the mouse screamed. He dropped the basket and ran away, his tiny feet pumping as fast as they could. "Wait, Mittens, it's me," Rio called out, but his voice hardly reached over the mouse's panicked squeaks. "Don't run, it's just me, Rio." Mittens froze, still shaking. Slowly he turned around. His nose twitched as he stared at the figure in front of him. Rio?" he stammered. Rio nodded. A warm feeling spread through him as he understood what had happened. "I'm so sorry, Mittens. I didn't mean to scare you. It is just soot." He pointed to his fur, smiling. "Oh, Rio?" Mittens giggled. "I thought it was a monster. I just came to surprise you with these cookies." They both burst into laughter, the sound filling the night air. It melted away the tension that had gripped them moments before. They returned to Rio's home and enjoyed aromatic tea and delicious cookies. They remembered how badly they had scared each other. They laughed until tears came. Rio and Mittens had learned that what initially seemed frightening often came with simple explanations. The lesson: sometimes facing fears can bring unexpected joy.